All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to tackle 5 of those super common traps in English that can stop you from sounding completely natural. We're going to find them, and we're going to escape them.
So, does this feel familiar? You've been studying for a while, you know your stuff, but you just feel stuck. You feel like you're not really progressing. Well, chances are you might be falling into a few common traps without even knowing it, and that's exactly what we're going to fix today.
So here's the plan. First, we're going to solve the past tense puzzle. Then we'll master those tricky ed and ing adjectives. After that, we'll look at the after verb rule, see how small words can have a huge impact. And finally, we'll run through some quick fixes for common spoken mistakes. Let's do it.
Okay, first up, probably one of the biggest headaches for English learners, the past tenses. When on earth do you say, I saw that movie, versus I have seen that movie? It all comes down to how you're thinking about time. Think of this slide as your secret decoder ring. On the left, you see words like yesterday, last week, in 2019. These are all signals for a finished time. So that means you need the past simple. But on the right, you have words like ever, yet, just. These are about life experience, something that's still connected to now. And that's your cue for the present perfect. I love this analogy. The past simple is a closed door. The action is done, the time period is over, it's finished. You're basically just reporting a historical fact. I went to the store yesterday. Boom, door closed. And if you're ever stuck, just use this super simple mental test. Ask yourself, when? If you can give a specific answer, like yesterday, or at 3 p.m., or last year, then you need the past simple. If the when isn't important and it's more about the experience, then go with the present perfect.
All right, moving on to trap number 2. This is a classic. Are you bored or are you boring? They sound similar, but they mean totally different things. The good news is, the rule is actually super logical.
Here's the entire secret, right here. The ed ending is all about how you feel inside. You are the receiver of an emotion. You feel bored. The ing ending describes the source, the thing that causes the feeling. The film is boring. See the difference? One is the feeling, the other is the cause.
Let's look at it as cause and effect. Step 1. The news was the source of the feeling, so the news was surprising. Step 2. What was the result? We, the receivers, felt surprised. The ing thing causes the ed feeling. Simple as that.
Okay, time for trap number 3. You know when you have 2 verbs together in a sentence? Which one is right? I enjoy to play or I enjoy playing? Well, here's the rule. The first verb is the boss. It tells the second verb what form to take.
So, there are 2 main patterns you need to know. You've got verbs like want, hope, and decide that are almost always followed by to plus the verb. But then you have another group, verbs like enjoy, avoid, and finish, and these guys are always followed by the ing form. The best way to learn these is just to start noticing the patterns when you read and listen.
Now here's the most important part. And honestly, it makes your life way easier. You only have to worry about changing the first verb. The second one is totally locked in place. You say, he enjoys playing, not he enjoys plays. That second verb doesn't change for anyone or anything.
Let's jump into our 4th trap. Oh yes, articles. A, an, and the. These tiny words can be a massive headache, can't they? But trust me, getting them right makes a huge difference in how natural you sound.
Let's just boil it down to the basics. You use a or an when you're talking about something for the first time. You use the when you and the listener both know exactly which one you mean. And when do you use no article at all? Well, that's when you're speaking generally about plural things, like I love dogs, not I love the dogs.
And then there are these fixed patterns that you just kind of have to learn. For example, you always say she's a teacher. You go to the cinema, but you just go to work, no article. And check out the difference here. Dogs are loyal is a general statement about all dogs, but the dogs next door are loud refers to specific dogs we both know about.
And for our final section, we're going to do a little rapid-fire round. We'll look at some super common spoken mistakes that are actually really easy to fix once you know the secret.
Okay, this one is a big one. You know when a question is hiding inside another sentence? You start with something like, I don't know, or can you tell me? Well, after that, the word order flips back to a normal statement. You don't say, I don't know, where does she live? You say, I don't know where she lives.
This one is so simple, but so important. For he, she, or it, the negative is always doesn't, not don't. She doesn't like it.
The game doesn't work. Getting this right will instantly make your English sound more accurate. You have to remember this one. Words like sure, happy, tired, ready, these are all adjectives. And what verb do we use with adjectives? The verb to be, right? So you can't say, I don't happy, so you also can't say, I don't sure. It has to be, I am not sure.
And now for a quick vocabulary trap. When native speakers say they're going to start a family, they mean one very specific thing. They're planning on having kids. It doesn't mean getting married or moving in together. It's all about the babies.
And here's a super useful informal phrase. If someone makes a suggestion and you say, yeah, I'm cool with that, it just means I accept it, I'm okay with it, I have no problem. The word cool here means you're emotionally calm and not upset about the decision. So let's wrap this all up. What's your main takeaway? It's to become a pattern spotter. Look for those signal words for tenses. Always remember, ed is how you feel, ing is the source of the feeling. And please, don't try to fix everything at once. Just pick one of these traps this week and really focus on it.
And that leads me to my final question for you. Real learning happens when you put this into practice. So, which one of these 5 traps are you going to focus on this week? Make it your mission to catch it and correct it every single time. Thanks so much for joining me, and good luck!